Alright, before I roll that intro, let me give you a little bit of insight to this video. I filmed it 2 weeks ago, and I never finished editing the video, but during the editing process, WB announced that Matt Reeves was going to be the next director for Batman, or I should say that Matt Reeves was in talks to direct the next Batman movie. Well, it turns out that Matt Reeves has walked away from those talks, so we still do not have a Batman director, which totally sucks as fans, but is amazing as a content creator, because now a video that I was never gonna post is now relevant again, and you guys can watch it right now. So, I'm going to talk about 5 directors I think, in my eyes, would make amazing Batman movies. So that's what you're about to see, and at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about the 2 directors that could be possibly taking over for Matt Reeves, and they were on WB's shortlist. So I'll be giving my opinion on those 2 directors at the end of the video. So yeah, roll the intro! What's going on, guys? So I know this video is pretty damn late, but at the same time I do think it's still relevant because we still don't have a director for the Batman solo movie. Now, if you're one of those people that lives in a cave and you have no idea what the hell I'm talking about, well, news broke a few weeks ago that Ben Affleck will no longer be directing the Batman solo film. He has decided to step down from directing, but he's still going to executive produce, star in, and write the film. So he's not going anywhere. He's just not going to have the director title on his name. And he also mentioned that he's looking for somebody to direct this film with him. So it's basically going to be kind of like a partner thing, but I think whoever he brings in will have their name on the director title. It's not going to be like that person and, you know, Ben Affleck. I don't think he would do that to somebody. It's kind of disrespectful, but he is looking for somebody to come in and direct this film with his vision. So he wants a partner on this film, not somebody to come in and just overhaul everything he's been doing for the last year or whatever since they announced that he was going to be the director. Speaking of the writing portion of this movie, the script is actually getting a rewrite right now from Ben Affleck's friend Chris Terrio, who worked on Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, Argo, and currently the Justice League movie. So that guy is coming in and rewriting this script right now. I don't think he's making like anything, like I don't think he's going to be making major changes to this. There's like a lot of movies have rewrites until they think they get like the best script possible, but I think Ben Affleck just needed somebody else to come in and rewrite the script a little bit to add a lot of the little badass shit that scripts have. I'm pretty sure Ben has like a solid story, but he needs all the little details and stuff for this movie, and that is where Chris Terrio is going to come in and actually just go ahead and clean up the script. I don't think he's going to be making any major changes to it. That might freak a lot of people out because he wrote BVS, but you know, the whole BVS thing is weird because some people said the extended edition was great, but the theater version wasn't good, so it's just like, oh, well, is he good or bad? Let me know. But the main purpose for this video is to talk about directors I think would be amazing to actually make a Batman solo film. Now, I'm going to link to 2 videos in the description, one from The Nerdist and the other from Kevin Smith. Both of them talked about, you know, who they think will be directing the Batman solo and who they would like to direct the Batman solo film. So go ahead and check out those videos in the description down below after you watch this one. I should mention in the Nerdist video, they talk more about who they think is going to partner with Ben Affleck to make this. Kevin Smith goes off on like his dream list of people. Mine is going to be kind of like a dream list, but also people I think would be really amazing at doing this. But I don't know if they would be partners in a movie. They're more probably directors that would want to take over the whole thing. But either way, I do think they would be amazing on this project. Number 1 being George fucking Miller. Do I even need to say anything else? Dude made Mad Max Fury Road. That movie was amazing. He was working on a Justice League movie before it got canceled. And like, just give this dude a superhero movie. Like, I mention this every time we do one of these videos about directors. And I'm like, George Miller, just give it to him. Whatever he wants to do, just give him a fucking superhero movie because I think he would be great. Do I think he would do the Batman solo? Probably not. There have been like, you know, articles saying that he wants to make like movies with strong female characters, which is what you saw in Mad Max Fury Road. There were rumors that he was going to do Man of Steel 2 and that he wanted to bring Supergirl into it, but that seemed like it fell through. And yeah, I don't know. I don't care. If George Miller says like, oh, I'd like to direct Batman solo film, fuck out of here, Ben Affleck. Give me George Miller. The second director I think would be amazeballs to make a Batman solo film is Darren Aronofsky. And if you guys don't know who Darren Aronofsky is, what the hell? Where? How? Why don't you know who he is? This guy is the vision behind Requiem for a Dream, The Wrestler, The Fountain, and Black fucking Swan. If you haven't seen any of those movies, don't do anything this weekend. Rent those movies and watch them, because they will make you think. And he is the kind of director that makes you question shit about everything. And he's so good with his characters, and like, oh my gosh, like, just watch those films and tell me that you don't think he would just hit the nail on the head with the tone of Batman, like the darkness and just the character development of Batman. I think Darren Aronofsky would be amazing. He was actually making the second Wolverine movie until he backed out, so that's the one thing that would worry me about him being the director, just backing out. But he was scheduled to make a Wolverine movie, which that would have probably been the best Wolverine movie there is, you know, even with Logan freaking here. But I don't know. Darren Aronofsky, I think, would just destroy, in a good way, a Batman movie with the tone of his style. And just like, man, I don't know, I would love that. He's one of my picks. If you guys have seen Black Swan, like, you know, that deals with like crazy psychotic shit. This is gonna be in Arkham Asylum. That's what the rumor of this is. So giving Darren Aronofsky a movie with Batman, who's just a guy in a bat suit, and going into this Arkham Asylum where all these people are crazy and they're different powered villains and stuff, I think would be absolutely great. My next pick for who should direct the Batman solo movie is the Coen Brothers. If you guys don't know about the Coen Brothers, they made the movie No Country for Old Men, True Grit. They've made other movies like Hail Caesar and like Fargo and stuff like that. But these guys are badass. Just watch No Country for Old Men. Like, I think they kill it with the villains. Like, that movie, I remember seeing that in theaters, and it was a very like nice tone, but that villain in No Country for Old Men was fucking creepy and a badass at the same time. I mean, just go, like, the movie starts off with him freaking choking out a cop, like, with wire, and like, there's this one scene of him just choking out and his face looks so insane. I can only imagine what the Coen Brothers do with an asylum full of villains, and Deathstroke being the main one. Like, I'm just blowing my mind thinking about it, because man, I don't know, like, I think they do great with villains, and you're giving them a serious, you know, Batman, that's the best thing about Batman. Like, he is the most grounded character there is, and then you have this crazy-ass rogue gallery that you can pull from to just make this movie, like, realistic. And I think that's why the Nolan movies were so great, because it's very hard to make Wonder Woman, Superman, Green Lantern, any of those, like, realistic kind of characters, you know, because they have superpowers. Batman is a dude in a batsuit that's just a motherfucking badass, and you can make that series as real as you want, or you can make the character as real as you want, because, you know, logically, I guess he's the closest thing to a superhero that could actually happen in the real world. So giving the Coen Brothers that, and then this like amazing list of just villains, I was just, like I said, blowing my mind. I think they would be fucking great at this movie, for this movie. My next pick is an interesting one, because this guy has said that comic book movies are cultural genocide, and I know that would be like, why the fuck would you pick somebody that doesn't like freaking superhero movies? But I pick him for this quote in general. But okay, so the director I'm talking about is Alejandro Gonzales. I think his last name is pronounced Inarritu. I butcher his last name all the time, but he's the guy that directed, you know, freaking Babel, Birdman, and most recently The Revenant. This dude has won Oscars for his directing. But let me go ahead and read you the quote before I tell you why I think he would be great. During the promotion of Birdman, he was asked about superhero movies, and this is what he said. "I sometimes enjoy them because they are very basic, simple, and go well with popcorn. The problem is that sometimes they purport to be profound based on some Greek mythological kind of thing, and they are honestly very right-wing. I always see them as killing people because they do not believe in what you believe, or they are not being who you want them to be. I hate that. and I don't respond to those characters. They have been poisoned. This is cultural genocide because the audience is so overexposed to the plot and explosions and shit that doesn't mean nothing about the experience of being human. He also said he doesn't like the way they use the word hero in these movies by saying this. If you observe the mentality of most of those films, it's really about people who are rich, who have power, and who will do the good and who will kill the bad. Philosophically, I just don't like them. Now, Alejandro has some very strong political views. You can tell that from these quotes, or at least it just seems that way, and I totally have no problem with that. But the reason why I think he would be great is because of the quote he says. I think Batman is perfect for him, and I think he just doesn't see that. Specifically with this part of his quote right here, because the audience is so overexposed with plot and explosions and shit that doesn't mean nothing about the experience of being human. That right there, I think that is what you get with these big superhero movies like Guardians of the Galaxy, you know, Civil War, all of that shit. But Batman, at its core, you don't, and if you go watch that freaking Kevin Smith video, he talks about, like, you don't need a lot of money to make a Batman film. Like, you can make a badass Batman film on, like, $30 million because the core of Batman is a noir film that has, like, kung fu shit in it. And it's so fucking true, and that's why I wanted people to watch that freaking Kevin Smith video, because he makes some amazing points about that. When it comes to Batman, you can make an amazing Batman movie without all the explosions and crazy shit, because it's just all about badass fighting, hand-to-hand combat shit, maybe some cool gadgets here and there, but Batman at its core is all about amazing characters. And it has everything to do with being human. Like, this is a guy that wants to get revenge because his family was murdered. Like, that is a hardcore story at its core. He's not coming from another planet, or he wasn't raised on an island of women that are super godlike warriors. This is a dude that dresses up in a fucking bat suit so he can get, you know, he can protect people. Like, I don't see why. I think that, you know, when he made this quote, he wasn't really thinking about it through, or maybe he just doesn't know a lot about Batman. But with his vision, the way he made The Revenant and like stuff like Birdman, I think he can really make solid characters and bring those characters to life on screen. And just, he wants to have this human experience or whatever. Batman is the perfect thing. That's exactly like I mentioned with a lot of these other directors, that I think they can take this story in Batman of all, because you can make it the most realistic superhero movie there is because of what Batman is at his core. So that is why I would like to see Alejandro make an actual Batman movie. I don't think he'll ever do it because obviously he has very strong feelings towards superhero movies, but I think he's overlooking what Batman really is at its core, and it is a human experience. You're seeing like this guy's torment and everything, and I think he would bring that to life. I think he could bring that torment that Batman has to deal with, those demons he has to deal with, like people deal with every day, whether, you know, you're a druggie, an alcoholic, or you just have a bad life or whatever, and you have to persevere through all of that to keep moving on in life. I think that would be just a great thing for him to do, but you know, that's like a 0% chance, and I think he's also one of those directors that wouldn't want to be a partner. Like I said, a lot of these guys wouldn't want to be a partner, but that doesn't mean that they wouldn't make amazing Batman movies. Finally, the last person I have that I think would make an awesome Batman solo movie, and I know a lot of people are probably gonna hate me for this, I think Zack Snyder. I know, kill me, I don't really care, but I think Zack Snyder would make a badass Batman movie, because remember, he's not going to be writing this one, and he's not doing it on his own. He's not doing it alone. He will be doing it with Ben Affleck, and Ben Affleck already has this vision, and he'll just be like, yo, Snyder, just make this come to life. This is what I want to do. Your fighting style, like, you know what, say what you want about Zack Snyder, but I think he's an amazing visual director. You can't take that away from him. His movies are very stylistic. They look beautiful. He has the best intros in any movie ever. Like, even Sucker Punch. I thought Sucker Punch sucked. I hated that movie, but it had an amazing intro, and like when I was watching it in theaters, I was like, this movie's gonna be so badass. But it wasn't, unfortunately. But Watchmen has probably the best intro of all time. Like, that intro to that movie is so fucking good with that, is it a Bob Dylan song? It's so fucking amazing. And he just does that. Even BVS had an amazing intro with the death of the Waynes and the way he just interpreted a story or like a scene that has been done a million times before and made it his own. Like, Zack Snyder has a vision, and I would love to see him. He's the first freaking director to give me the Batman of my dreams. I'm talking about that kung fu kicking ass Batman. Every other Batman's been like, wacha, ha, wah, ha, ha. Like, this one was like, what, motherfucker, what, and throwing people and fucking throwing people through walls and shit. Like, that was the Batman in the comic books, and Zack Snyder brought that to life. Nobody else did that, not even fucking Nolan, but man, he gave me the Batman I wanted. And you can argue about the, like, oh, well, Batman doesn't kill, all this shit. The source material he was using, Batman killed in that source material. And now, Batman's going back to his no-kill rule in Justice League, so of course, he won't be killing in the Batman solo movie. So now Zack Snyder, all he has to focus on is making a badass Batman movie. And he's not writing it, he's not doing any of that shit, he's just directing and bringing his visual style to a Batman movie. And I'm all for that. Also, his shit is like comic book accurate stuff. Like, he tries to bring... Now, you can argue about the whole, like, Superman thing, and I'll agree with you. He did kind of butcher, like, Superman and make him this mopey kind of character. But when it comes to, like, suits and everything, Zack Snyder's on point. Like, he did great suits for Watchmen. Like, all of those are almost on point to exactly the way they are in the comic books. And same thing. Like, just imagine him taking... that kind of style where he tries to make comics, like he tries to make the suits accurate to the way they look in comic books, and the scenes and stuff he does, like there's a lot of panels directly ripped from comic books, and he puts them in his movies. That would be amazing. And you're gonna give him Arkham Asylum, and can you imagine how awesome those freaking villains would look with the vision of Zack Snyder? And remember, it's not gonna be, he's doing a partner thing. So, what's his name? Ben Affleck already has a vision. Zack Snyder's just gonna come in here and direct parts. I would totally fucking be for that. I don't know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comment section down below. But I think Zack Snyder would make a badass Batman film. But that's just me. Okay, so those are my 5 directors. But now the WB apparently, with Matt Reeves walking away from the Batman talks. And I should say that a lot of the articles were talking about how negotiations could resume with cooler heads, but I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, apparently that means WB doesn't want to budge on something, or Matt Reeves like wants way more control of the movie than they were assuming he was gonna want. So somebody is trying to leverage some shit here. So that kind of blows. But they said that talks could resume, but I doubt it. So that means that WB is probably going to move on to new directors. And the 2 people that were on their short list, apparently, are Ridley Scott and Fede Alvarez. So this is going to be really interesting because if you heard the name Ridley Scott before, he has some amazing movies tied to his name. With Ridley Scott, you probably heard more about his most recent works, which were like The Martian, you know, Exodus, Gods and Kings, Prometheus. He's working on Alien Covenant right now. Those are his recent movies, but freaking Ridley Scott has made some amazing movies from back in the day, such as G.I. Jane, Gladiator, Hannibal, Black Hawk Down, fucking Thelma and Louise, Alien, Blade Runner. The dude has an amazing track record, so if you're gonna give him a Batman movie, he's probably gonna kill it. And I mean, why wouldn't he? He's fucking Ridley Scott. And you know what? He wouldn't be my first choice for a Batman movie, but he has shown that, one, he's able to make badass women characters. So if he's going to freaking, you know, if there are going to be a lot more women characters in the Batman movie, they're going to be badass. And 2, he has really great character development, I think, in my eyes. And it would be badass if he does direct a Batman movie. So I'm totally on board with Ridley Scott if he is going to be, you know, the front runner for this Batman movie. But I just don't know. I don't get him as somebody that's gonna come in and work alongside Ben Affleck. I feel like he's the kind of director with all the amazing shit that he's done that he's all like, give me the whole fucking project. I'm gonna do this my way. I'm fucking Ridley Scott. So yeah, I don't know if he'd be able to come in and like co-direct something. So that's kind of, that's why I don't see him directing this movie, but I would be fucking down for it. Now the other director on WB's shortlist apparently is Fede Alvarez, and this guy, I have not seen any of his work. I mean, he's, I guess, apparently famous for Don't Breathe. I never saw that movie. Let me know if you guys saw that. I heard it was really good, but I didn't watch it myself, so I don't know how good of a director he is. He also did an episode From Dusk Till Dawn, the TV series, and he did Evil Dead, which I believe was the remake in 2013. So I have not seen any of his movies. He seems to be more of a horror director, which would be really interesting for the Batman movie, because the Batman does have like this fear type, you know, feel to it, but I don't want the movie to be a horror movie, you know, but if he can go ahead and switch over to that and make it a little bit more dark and just crazy, but still be Batman, because, you know, Batman does have a very dark element to it. That'd be cool. It'd be interesting to see a horror director give their vision on this movie, but I don't want a bunch of jump scares and shit like that, which I don't think he would do. I think, you know, Freddy would actually know what he's doing. A lot of directors can actually go to different genres. They just prefer to stay in one because maybe that's their favorite. But anyways, the one thing I will say I find interesting about this is if you go to his IMDb page, it says The Batman pre-production in it, which is insane. But from my understanding, I believe anybody can go in and mess with these profiles. So there's nothing on the internet. I already checked. There is no freaking, you know, like, oh, he's in talks, or, you know, he's been confirmed. Nothing like that that I found. But from my understanding on IMDb, people can go in here and change shit and just like add it to other profiles, kind of like Wikipedia. So I would take this with a grain of salt. I don't think it's anything. I don't think it's like somebody jumping the gun. I think it's somebody that just went in there, changed the fucking profile, and bada bing bada boom, people are gonna be like, oh my god, look at this. Yeah, so I wouldn't believe that until you start seeing it other places and at least hearing that he's in talks. But, you know, as always, don't fucking, when somebody's in talks, don't jump the gun and say he's confirmed and be like, oh my god, I loved all his movies and he's gonna make a great director. Because apparently, those things can break down. So yeah, anyways, roll the original outro. So if you disagree with me or you have a better pick for directors, let me know in the comment sections down below. Guys and gals, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with all your Batman solo film buddies. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for all things nerdy and geeky on this channel. As always, I am your host, JUICEbox. Remember, when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself something. Vitamin daily dose of juice. See you guys next time. Bye.